Okay guys, we're on a hike. Ooh, mushies. Yeah.
We're nearing sort of the end of the mushroom season, but we should still be able to find quite a few. And then of course all the shelf fungi will be out for a while.
Ooh, that's a good mushroom. Did you find something? Moss.
Yeah. I gotta skip one.
This is fucking cool.
Well, welcome in, guys. Once again, my name is Casey. I will be hiking you around these woods and pretty much just nerd vomiting at you for like an hour. I encourage you guys to ask lots and lots of questions today. I like to keep it as interactive as possible as I'm trying to do these tours, and I don't like to just go by a script. It's not as fun for me. And I want to talk about what you guys are interested in. But with that being said, I have been on this island particularly for like only 6 days. So I might not know everything that you want to know, but it's totally okay. We don't have service, and I'm a really good bullshitter, so you can't fact check me, so it'll be alright. But with that being said, we are in the Tongass National Forest right now. It is the largest national forest in North America, sitting at roughly 17 million square acres.
Wow.
Definitely huge. The second biggest is about 4 million square acres, so we've got it beat by a lot. Tongass comes from the name of a clan of the Tlingit tribe that inhabits this area. Translates to mean sea lion tribe. So we're in the sea lion forest, and if you want to keep your eyes peeled in the trees, you might see some hanging out up there. They like to swim in the trees. We've got three kind of main types of trees. Here we've got the red cedar. That's this big mama right here. We call her grandmother. They're pretty easily identifiable. They've got these vertical stripes in their bark. It's segmented horizontally for the wind. We have some very strong winds. I'll tell you about that further into the trail. But it's just peely, it's very soft. The older ones have these J-shaped branches. These develop when they're about 500 years old. So if you look over here, you see this one's kind of starting to develop those J-shapes. So that one's right around 500 years old. But these are very mature. This tree had a core sample done, and it's around like 820 years old. It's a super, super old tree, and it is just beautiful. I love it. It's awesome. Over to the left, you see that real dark, chip-shaped, chunky bark over there. That is a Sitka spruce. That's our other main type of tree that we have. That bark is much more coarse, much darker, and it's got those kind of chunky shapes to it. And then the third tree would be the hemlock. It's largely going to be all these younger ones that you see. They tend to be the last to grow in the development of a forest. They're a very shade-tolerant tree, so that's why there's so many younger ones. Their bark is pretty similar to the Sitka spruce in that kind of chunky, chippy shape, but it's generally lighter in color. It's hard to tell when they're wet, and they're pretty much always wet out here. So I usually go by the needles, because the needles are pretty easily identifiable. One other tree that we have here that's super important and sort of our only leafy tree is the red alder. Unfortunately, they do not change colors in the fall, and I'll tell you why. It's because they are super, super good at getting nutrients much better than other trees. They have this Frankia bacteria that sits on their roots, and it allows them to synthesize ammonia out of the air, which just gives them tons of nitrogen. So whenever leaves are changing colors, it's because the tree's sucking all those nutrients out so it can hold on to them for the next year. But the alders, since they're so good at getting those nutrients, they don't have to do that. So when they drop their leaves, they're still green and full of nutrients, and then that just kind of packs the soil full of good stuff. They'll usually spring up after a disturbance or a deforestation event. They'll spread really rapidly, they grow really quickly, and they die off in about 100 years to leave more room for other plants. So they're really cool. They also were used medicinally by the Tlinkits in this area. They would boil them in a steam bath for arthritis. So it's pretty cool stuff. So yeah, if you guys want to give some love to Grandma and maybe take some pictures with her, feel free to do that.
Granny.
No, they're done by like arborists and forest service.
Oh my gosh.
They just take a really small core sample.
I got it.
And they count the rings. And it's done like all over the place. It's used for like climatological data and stuff like that. Very, very common, and it does not hurt the trees.
I want to touch it.
It's a shroomy that looks like a
I
nipple.
always recommend
Yeah, it
getting
does.
guns out to match the tree.
We're on to the second battery of the day.
Already?
Yeah, I didn't charge it last night. Are you guys going?
Go ahead.